Hey everybody, welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bello, and today I'm literally coming at you from this empty room at the Sheraton Hotel in Dallas at the Podcast Movement Conference. So bear with me, I did not pre-record any episodes. I am just recording this live for you, and very little, if any, editing. I just needed to put something out because today is my publishing day, Mondays and Thursdays. And consistency, as you know, is extremely important in making sure that we actually do the things that we say we're going to do and continue to keep our word to ourselves so that when we make promises to other people, we know that we can actually carry those out and stay true to what we say. So today's topic is about how we control our reality. And you are in charge of exactly what it is that is in your life. If you're not happy with what is happening in your life, it's because you are not focusing on the right things. You're not taking the right action. You're possibly not setting the right intentions. And so as you continue to go about your life and seeing where it is that you want to go, where is it that you are exactly right now, everything in your life right now is kind of your fault to some extent. And there are some things like your environment and ways that you grew up and maybe how bad your neighborhood was, but ultimately you control your environment and your reality after a certain amount of time. If you don't like the people around you, you may have heard this before, you can't change the people around you necessarily, but you can change the people around you, meaning that you can expand, what you're focused on, get outside that neighborhood, move outside to a new city like I did. I moved out from Houston to Denver. I changed my environment literally. I knew nobody. I knew one person I went to school with, and my fiance and I had to start from scratch, and we had to meet new people. We had to go network, and we got to be a whole lot more intentional about the types of people that we actually hang out with. And so, again, you create your reality. If you're not happy, you can change things. I want to make improvements to my podcast. I want to have higher quality. I want to have better topics for you, for example. And so that is why I'm here at the Podcast Movement Conference, to learn things, to network with new people. I'm going to stop moving around. If you're watching the camera, it's probably all shaky, so I'm going to try to stay in place here. But I want to make sure to network with people. I want to add value to others. I've gotten a chance to meet some really incredible people here that are doing huge things, that have been podcasting for a long time. Just talked to one guy who has over 100,000 Instagram followers and was talking about how to go viral on Reels, for example. And so if you want to learn something, you can literally find people who are doing the things that you want to do. You can learn from them. You can take their opt-in, take them up on their opt-in, see what their little freebie is, and just model what it is that is working for them. And so the one guy I'm thinking of and that I talked to, I went to his Instagram. I DM'd him PM22 for Podcast Movement 22. I saw his auto reply. I immediately got something. It was a freebie, and it has 100 or so pages of things that I can do and I can review if I want to learn more about creating content, creating reels, right? So if I want to become really good at creating Instagram reels, tuning into what it is that I wrote down in my notebook today, as well as going through that, is going to be a next step. Practicing with the hooks that we talked about and just the scripts and the takes and doing one take instead of restarting over and over and over again. Those are all things that I'm going to have to work on and practice and implement if I do want to really go all in and grow my Reels and Instagram followers, for example. So again, if I really want to go that route, which if you follow me on Instagram, I don't post a whole lot, only on my stories sometimes, because I just haven't determined if that is something that I see myself doing and see myself focusing on. If I chose to go that route, I know the steps, I know who I can follow and ask questions to in order to get to where I want to go in that regard. Now for podcasting, I'm here because I want to become a better podcaster. I want to interview more incredible guests and just meet people who are doing it at a higher level, and that's exactly where I am. I am in this environment. I mean, the room that I'm in right now is not a good representation of what is happening at the conference because there are multiple levels, there are multiple speakers going on. Like, it's an overwhelming schedule of multiple things that I can learn, and it is kind of a choose your own adventure type of thing. But for you and in your life, you're going to have a choose your own adventure. Do you want to learn real estate? Do you want to learn marketing? Do you want to start your own startup? Like, there are groups that will allow you to plug in and learn exactly what it is that you want to learn. But you have to get more clear on what it is that you want, because if you're not clear, you're going to go to all these random groups, and I found myself doing that too. A lot of people are conference junkies. They jump from one to the next, and they're all totally random and they don't have anything to do with each other, and then you're left not being an expert in any one thing, which is what you don't want to do. You want to pick one thing, stick to it, and go all in, go a mile deep instead of a mile wide. And when you do that, you level up your skills in those areas. You start to skill stack, as one of my friends told me recently. He's like, dude, you are still stacking, or skill stacking. You are stacking skills on top of each other. That'll be very valuable, and you'll be able to craft a very high ticket, compelling offer. Whenever you dial in that message, whenever you dial in the avatar, it's going to be very easy to figure out, how to make a really incredible income through that offer once I dial it in, which right now I'm in that testing phase. I'm figuring out, hey, who is in my audience? What do they want to learn? Is this valuable? Is the offer that I'm making actually compelling? Do they want to take me up on that? Is there a follow-up that I can offer? Is there an upsell that makes sense where they still feel like the value exceeds the investment, right? So that's it for this episode. I really just wanted to cover real quickly and make sure that I actually published something instead of letting the whole day go by, that at the end of the day, we may not be happy with where we are, and we most likely have a whole lot further that we want to go. We all have goals, we all have big dreams that we want to achieve, and it's very easy to be unhappy with where we are all the time, even when we are seeing success, like we're already on to the next goal. But we have to just understand that we are in charge and we do control our reality. If we're not happy with something, we can take action. And when things suck enough for us to actually take action, when the pain is deep enough, when the cut hurts enough, you're going to take action to change that, right? There's a quote about the dog sitting on the nail or something, and he's whimpering and crying because he's sitting on the nail and it hurts. I can't remember it, I'm butchering the phrase, but it doesn't hurt enough for him to actually want to move. And that becomes a problem, because then he's just complacent and he's just sitting there and moping around and complaining. Most people complain, it never sucks bad enough for them to want to take action to change their situation. So either A, if your situation is so bad and so painful that you want to change it, you're going to do it. Or B, if you're moving towards pleasure, towards a goal, towards financial goal or financial freedom or something like that. Those are the two main drivers that I continue to see that either pushes people towards a goal or pulls them away from somewhere where they don't want to be. So I hope that all makes sense. I hope you found this somewhat valuable today on my last minute recording late in the day after a full session of note taking. I've been to plenty of keynotes today. We were out late last night doing some networking mixer type thing at like a place that's literally called Lit Kitchen and Lounge or something. It was pretty lit in there, I will have to admit. But if you have any questions or anything, make sure to drop them below in the YouTube section. If you've got anybody you think may benefit from this episode and understanding that you're in charge of your reality and you can change it at any time, please feel free to share this with them as well. Make sure to go to chrisbello.com/free if you have not downloaded my free guide on the Complete Life Tracker. Super helpful file. Let me know if you have any questions. Whenever you get that email from me, you can reply directly, and I do read and respond to all of those emails as best as I can. So I look forward to catching you there. Once again, thank you for tuning in and for your time today, and have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.